Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Wade Smith, and I am a third-degree brown belt in Isshinryu Karate. Um, in this video, I've shown this a few times in other videos, but I didn't have them entitled as such. In this video, I'm going to be teaching how to defeat multiple brown or black belt attackers, or even one or more Navy SEALs attacking you. This is assuming a worst-case scenario, so you're fighting one or two advanced, very advanced, or even just flat out expert attackers. And let's say it's the military, and you need to do your special forces, and you need to defeat two enemy special forces attacking you. How is that possible? Well, first of all, um, it's going to be hard to do it, but the basic concept is when your opponents attack you, when you know they're coming, especially if you know both of them are there, you want to close in, pick whichever one you think is smaller, and go ahead and close in on him immediately and defeat him. What you need to do is get him in some sort of front wrist lock, full wrist lock, or reverse wrist lock so that you can quickly get sidearm control on your first opponent. All right, your small, hopefully smaller and first opponent. Or if they're about the same size, just pick one randomly and attack him before they even get to you. We're assuming they start outside at opposite sides of you, or perhaps 45 to 90 degrees angle of you, and you've seen both of them. You know they're there. So just pick one, whichever one looks smaller or weaker, and go ahead and close distance and attack him. Don't wait around for them to attack you. Go ahead and attack one. And again, you want to get them in some kind of joint lock or side arm control. The first one that you defeat. And combined striking, we're going to have the joint lock on him, and we're going to throw knee strikes and snap kicks and thrust kicks to the body, elbow strikes, whatever knees you can work in, and you're going to quickly get the first opponent's body between yourself and your second opponent. That's very important. So suppose I've defeated my first opponent. Essentially, I got him in some kind of joint lock. I got front arm control or side arm control on him, and I'm kicking and kneeing his guts out. And my second opponent is coming from that direction. I'm going to keep his body, my first opponent's body, right here between myself and my second opponent while I have side arm control on him. And I'm going to be elbowing him if I can get one hand free and one hand pin his arm up against my body. And this works because I know it works because I used to do it to the lightweight second degree black belt in the dojo. All right, he couldn't beat me. I used to do it. Once you get their arm pinned, right here, you hold it against your hip as hard as you can and as tight as you can. And every once in a while, you get in a free back fist or a free kick or whatever to the body. All right, and you just keep doing that to him. Keep his body between yourself and the other black belt that's attacking you. And I used to do this in the dojo against two black belts during the black belt testing of myself, which again, I never passed because I had to quit karate and focus on school. And again, I should have quit school to focus on karate. But anyway, keep him, the defeated guy, between yourself and the second attacker, using him as a human shield. Get in some back fists and hammer fists to the side of his face and jaw. Get in some knee strikes or kicks to the abdomen. If you got two cross-heel stomp, kick him to the side of the knee, or forward angle kick him to the side or back of the knee. But whatever you do, keep hitting him to keep him distracted so he can't recover. And if this guy tries to flank you, you just push him and pull him until you keep this first guy's body between yourself and the second guy. Whenever you beat the tar out of this guy so bad that he's no longer resisting, or if it's just a demonstration and he taps out, you can then throw him into the second guy and run away, or you can throw him out of the way and then fight the first guy one-on-one. All right. So that's the basic principle of how one expert fighter can defeat two highly advanced expert opponents in a handicap match. And yes, I have done that and can do that against first and second degree black belts. Um, so, but one other reason I didn't get my black belt right away is they actually raised the teaching standards by one full belt level that year. So I got promoted because it used to go from second degree brown belt to black belt, directly to black belt. Um, and they raised the teaching standards that year and added a third degree brown belt to the Isshinryu. At least all of AJ Advincula hierarchy dojos did. So anybody that was trained under AJ Advincula added a belt rank to their system, and they added another kata unofficially to Isshinryu, and you had to study that kata, which came from one of the other 6 styles, and instead of the original Goju-Ryu and Isshinryu katas, and you had to study that kata, and I forget what it was. It's been so long ago, like say 23 years. But I had 90% of the black belt kata and the other kata memorized, and around that time I had to quit for college reasons. Again, I and my family thought about that wrong. Don't give up on your dream. So you should quit college and focus on karate if you're in the same situation, because eventually when you get a multi-degree black belt, you can open your own dojo and train people. If you want to be train people for MMA and professional fighting, you can do that by the time you have a 3rd or 4th degree black belt, because you're just as good or better than the people fighting in the ring. All right. So that's how to defeat multiple brown and black belt level attackers, how to defeat if you're special forces and you needed to defeat the enemy special forces in hand-to-hand combat, you can do it. All right. So it is possible. I've proven it in the dojo. Fortunately, I've never had to actually fight Navy SEALs or Army Rangers, obviously. But I wouldn't be afraid to do an exhibition match where in a cage where I was against 1 or 2 Navy SEALs just to see if I could beat them. I probably could, but it would be interesting to see because again, the 2 second-degree black belts that I beat, one of them was an 8-year veteran of the Marine Corps and a police officer, and he was a heavyweight, a 235-pound heavyweight, and it got to where I could, embarrass him one-on-one. And the other was about 145 to 50-pound lightweight to middleweight, and also a second-degree black belt. And either of them would absolutely win any one-on-one street fight against an untrained fighter. There's no doubt about it. And I got to where I could beat them effortlessly one-on-one, and that's when Sensei started putting me against both of them simultaneously. All right, thank you very much for watching, and that does work. And if you don't believe me, try it in the dojo.